Well, good afternoon and welcome to TIO Stadium for week 2 of the TIO NTFL final series with the Tiwi Bombers up against Southern Districts. Matt Hepworth, Ricky Nolan and Rob Cross with you this afternoon. Gentlemen, we are in for a cracker of a game. Of course, how we got here. Southern Districts last week, they won by 71 points up against Darwin Buffaloes. Of course, the Buffs then eliminated. Meanwhile, Tiwi Bombers lost by 31 points against St Mary's at TIO Stadium in the game directly afterwards. But this afternoon, it is do or die. Of course, the team that wins tonight will go on to the semi-finals between Nightcliff and St Mary's in the prelim final next week. The loser out of the competition. Ricky, taking that all in mind, how do you see this afternoon's game?
It should be a good one. District's in a bit of form at the moment, so Tiwi just chugging along, but as we said, they're off, one of these sides is off to Bali on Monday, so it's do or die. But District's getting in a bit of form at the right time of the year. So I think District's nearly at their the best side that they've had in all year. Probably one player short. So yeah, getting to strength at the right time of the year, Rob.
Lovely exchange at half forward for Tiwi's as Jeffrey Simon and Brody Lake opponents very shortly are underway, embraced. So that's a nice bit of sportsmanship before the game gets underway. No Dylan Barry for Southern Districts today. Kicked 3 goals, was tremendous last week in their win over the Buffs. As Farah kicks inside, attacking 50, wanting Ed Barlow. There was a push and a shove, a hold. It goes to Ed Barlow. So inside the first minute, chance for the Crocs.
Never seen Southern Districts Football Club ever do this with Ed Barlow. They had him one out in the goal square, so they've thrown the magnets around. It's good. Coming from 5th place to win it is very, very hard, and I do reckon you've got to throw the magnets around like that's the good coaching. Good start, this. Very good start.
And he drills the goal. Great start by the Crocs, and interesting to see the man he's on, Alistair Darcy. Rick, we've seen him up forward pretty much all year.
Yeah, he's gone back. So as I said last week, I think Barlow is their best player when he's up and about. He's getting a bit old in age and only playing about every second week these days. But that, I reckon, is, when I saw that, I licked my lips. I reckon it's a really good move to put him one out in the forward line. And you've got to get the ball out of the middle, and that's what Districts did. Really, really good start.
So it's in fact the player next to him is Rodney Baird at the moment, and coming out to centre half back is Darcy to man Will Farah. 2 begins for the Crocs today. Michael Barlow, he played with a couple of AFL clubs, and also Rory O'Brien. So they've bolstered their team. Ashton Hams comes in, as does Dion Munkara for the Tiwi Bombers. So they've got a good lineup as well. Here goes Ross Tungatalam. Kicks inside 50. Beautiful pass to Jones, and a pretty good grab because Holman was wearing him like a glove from behind. And Holman, I reckon, is about the best fullback in the competition. But such was the kick and the power of Jones. There's that switcheroo, Rick, because Jones has been playing a defence all year.
He is. Box Hill Premiership player in the VFL, and he's a defender. So good to see him playing back behind the football.
Passage of play wouldn't have been out of place last night at Docklands.
Yeah, it's a big call, but yes, the Tiwi is certainly a side that can pull that off.
Jones from 45 metres out. A little further perhaps. Crosses 50 now. Lovely kick. It's just hooking late and mightn't have the carry in the end, and spoiled over the line by Keenan Dingo. So the first score for the Bombers is a behind. It's the Crocs by 5 points.
The tempo's up. It's a really good start to this game.
Holman has drifted down to the wing. Over the top came Baird. Jones wanted Tungatalam with a handball. Late goes in for the Districts, and it goes out of bounds.
Well, last week's game, the one we covered, it just started a little bit slow, but I just think it's up and about this week. Dion Munkara back. He's been out for Tiwi for a couple of weeks, so it's a fairly good inclusion. Also, Ashton Hams, the former Waffle Premiership player and West Coast Eagles player, back in this week as well.
There's Michael Barlow tackling Tungatalam. Baird dives over the footy. Over the top of him is Jaden Clark. Lionel Ogden got a nice little shepherd from Will Farah. Ogden wanted a handball, now goes long with the kick, which is a pretty good idea. Garlett one out here, up against Cruz. Cruz works his way to the front, controls it well. Excellent defensive play by David Cruz, sees it out of bounds, left half forward.
Seen Garlett the last couple of weeks really get into some form, so I think if they're to continue, they've got a lot of AFL players in this side district, so they certainly need them up and firing.
Monagatti and Gallo. Gallo's slightly taller. Monagatti, I think, might be a better ruckman in terms of body positioning. Michael Barlow's clever kick off the side of the boot, centering to the top of the goal square, and a 2-grab mark taken by Farah directly in front. And so it should be 2 straight to the Crocs.
Just talking about Ruckman, I reckon Gallo, and I reckon he's had a terrific start, and I like him. He has a crack, but I reckon he's got to play the game of his life today because I think Tiwi got the best two Ruckman here, and I've said it's an advantage to him. We need Gallen to have a real big one today.
And there is the second goal on the board. He might be helped by the fact, Rick, that not sure what's happened to Lachlan Howe. He's not in the lineup today, so Monagatti will go one out with probably some help from someone like Alistair Darcy. But Gallo was impressive last week. Massive crowd in again today and great atmosphere. The curtain raiser was won by Southern Districts in the women's competition by a goal. They led all day. It was camped on the Darwin Buffalo's half-forward line for the last 6 minutes of the game. They couldn't get the levelling goal at that point. In fact, it would have put them in front because the Crocs got the final behind of the match. But it was a brilliant match to lead into this one.
Yeah, I watched the Pints versus Waratahs game earlier on at 12 o'clock here today. That was an absolute ripper as well. Good and well done by Pints. I reckon they really took it up to Waratahs that have won 8 of the last 9 premierships in the women's footy.
Matty had to get the shuttle bus to the ground today. The car park was so full. Tungatulum out of the middle. That kicks most run Roscoe-like. It wanted Jones again, but on the bounce, Hams comes out from the pocket, taken high. And there'll be a free kick and a chance for the first goal of the afternoon to the Tiwi Bombers.
Hams has moved up to Darwin, working at Hellebury School in the Clontarf program. So he's not a fly-in this year, so gives him another extra fly-in on the list if Tiwi were wanting to use it.
His right thigh pretty heavily bandaged. See whether that slows him down at all today. Looks like he started up forward. There's lots of ex-AFL talent running around in this afternoon's game as Hams, the left footer from 40 metres out, strikes it beautifully. Quick reply, margin is 5 points in the Crocs' favour.
This is Darwin football that we like to see. Lots of the ball moving really, really quickly. High skills and high scoring. So hopefully keeps going this way. Charlie McAdam and the son of Gilbert McAdam having a few words to Hams.
Still having a chat. Keegan Dingo getting involved as well.
Richard Tambling's now, they're certainly rotating their full forwards, Southern Districts. So Richard Tambling gone to the goal square, one out.
Back in the middle, Monagatti, Innes down to Jakura. To centre half forward, Wanamiri, sweeping handball. Owen Henry from 40 metres on the run. Schofield running back with the flight marks before it goes through from behind. Chips over the top to Lake, who was very good last week. In the left back pocket, airport end of TIO Stadium. First semi-final, 2019-20 NTFL season. Puruntada Mary got rid of Dingo, tunnelled him, dived at his legs, no free kick. Dunn comes up with it, sloppy handball got away with it. Puruntada Mary to Cantilla. Cantilla's kick off the side of the boot is out of bounds on the full in the right forward pocket. And it's got to be Lake to take it, says umpire Mark Noonan.
No one manning the mark.
To Schofield. Oh, Jones has got him corralled. Got his kick around the corner to Holman. Warung, who was very good last week. He's got Michael Barlow trotting alongside. Oh, he's sold him into a bit of trouble. Watch out. Brought down in a strong tackle, holding the footy.
They pressed up very well in Tiwi. They probably had the outnumber at that side Districts, but Tiwi just pressed in very, very well.
Is that their big chance today, Rick, their pace?
Yeah, I'd say Tiwi going in would be favourites.
Harley, Puruntada Mary. Jones worked his way to a pretty good spot. They had 3 Crocs around him. McAdam, Schofield, Horbury. Wants Barlow. Spoiled away by Baird. Matthew Cantilla gets to it first. Had a suspension overturned during the week to be able to play today. Horbury marks the kick though 50. And gets 50 against Jakura.
Like Horbury here, just he's played on. If they can get it to a one-on-one, you got Garlett down there in a one-on-one, and they've also got Barlow, is it?
It's a lovely kick. Michael Barlow it is.
He did muck around, Horbury. Good work. Just now with these, it's a rule change this year. Get it up there and got it in quickly.
So 8.5 minutes in, potentially about to have our 4th goal of the match. Terrific start. A little hard going, especially early last week between the Crocs and the Buffs before the Crocs broke away. Barlow kicks across the face and through for a behind margin is a goal. So Tiwi's bring it back in. Now they go down the middle dangerously. Xavier Grant opted for the spoil. Gallo was good. Gave to O'Brien. Comes to McLaughlin. Kicks up towards the top of the goal square. Excellent mark by Darcy. Just held his ground. Pushed off his man and took it at the second attempt and flares it out into the left back pocket to Cruz.
I'd prefer him back. I'm glad that they're playing him back today in the final.
Cruz pokes one over the top. Xavier Grant marks in front of Rory O'Brien, wearing 17 today. Normally wears 29 for the Crocs. To the hard-running Matthew Cantilla.
Is that a promotion?
Could be. His form warrants it. Ed Barlow, round the corner. Chopped off by Jason Purantatameri, another player that fought a suspension during the week. A high shot. Was downgraded, so he was given a reprimand. Initially could have taken a week. Over to Jeffrey Simon, who started at half forward. To get a touch, he's drifted down to right half back. Over to Simpson, coach of Tracy Village, feeder team for the Tiwis. This is his 7th game for the year. Last one was against St Mary's last week. Played a game in January, and before they didn't play till early November. In the top flight, Heenan has to sit and wait under it. Gallo comes barging through. Jakura might have Cotman High at least played for it. Hams comes up with the crumb. Centering ball, wanting Tungatulum. He's got 2 to beat. Bowden held him off the footy fairly, and Michael Barlow came in and took the mark, and he kicks it out to Garlett. Long way up the ground at right half back.
We have blocked the exits pretty well here. We've had to go for a 45 kick.
Michael Bowden to Michael Barlow. Kicks up towards centre forward, and there's no one alone, no one at home for the Tiwis. A late spoil was good though by Jason Purantatameri. I think it was on O'Brien. Came to McLaughlin from 30 metres on the run. He's a horrible kick and squeezed through for behind.
They did that well, District Sen. That Tiwi had blocked the exit pretty well. Instead of going with a long bailout kick to nothing down the line, they just brought it in with a 45 kick. They had good run from behind the footy. Dean Staunton probably should have marked that footy, and they probably should have kicked that goal.
John O'Mullins in a striking blue helmet. Baird. Staunton on the mark. I called O'Brien a moment ago. It was Staunton over the top to Jason Purantatameri. Dangerous kick. Skimmed fingertips. Michael Dunn. Centering ball. Heenan has to wait under it. The spoil came from Michael Bowden. Dunn got a hard hit. Jakura marks a clever kick. And plays on quickly. He's got Matthew Cantilla. Takes the mark, closed down by Keenan Dingo, steps back onto his right boot. Jeffrey Simon has to wait under it, goes up, and he's taken down, wins a free. Little clumsy by Jaden Clark. And a man, he had Jones on, he wants to go to him. Jones still on in the pocket, on the bounce. Jones picks it up, the quick snap on the right boot is wonderful. Oh, great play, Tiwi. Took a long time to get it to Jones, but he slammed it through for the second, and it's only a point in it.
Big target for him up there. As I see, he's normally played as a defender this year for Tiwi. But it's working well so far. So a high possession game so far, and besides that, refusing to kick the ball long down the line, they'll looking to keep possession, which you'd expect from Tiwi. You'd expect that to be their game plan. But no side's willing to hand the ball over.
Similar affair in the first quarter last time these two met. At quarter time, Southern Districts 2-3-15, Tiwi Bombers 3-4-22. Tiwi Bombers ended up winning that game quite comfortably though, but yeah, certainly you're right, high possession, Ricky, and high scoring within the first quarter.
Monagatti and Gallo contesting in the middle. Corbury, Hams to Monagatti, high kick. Ogden's waiting under it. No one's around him though. Plenty of time to take the mark. Off to Jaden Schofield. He's a pretty good user normally. Kicks it to the top of the goal square. Garlett will wait underneath. Garlett still an opportunity. Still Garlett. Couldn't quite trap the footy. Got an awkward bounce. It's a cute little kick there from Michael Dunn. Found Hams.
They're getting numbers back behind the footy pretty well too. They're defending fairly well.
Baird. Darcy. This possession game you're talking about, Rick, yeah. To Mullins. Oh, terrible kick straight down the throat of O'Brien for the Crocs in front of Owen Henry. Sends it back to Michael Bowden at right half back, point of the centre square. Can switch to the Morris Rioli grandstand side. Bumped as he was kicked. All above board. Wanted Ed Barlow. The spoil came. Harley Purantatameri taken off the footy. Well played by Ogden. Ogden fights on at ground level and strips the footy. Well done. Comes to Schofield. Clever little kick. Ed Barlow might be on here. No, Horbury goes back inboard. Jaden Clark to Tambling from 40 metres. Hempel at the top to Staunton. To 30. Dean Staunton. The quick snap around the corner. And from the side, Will Farrer. Spoiled. He's perhaps looking to tap it to someone in the goal square. It was all Tiwi Bombers jumpers though. Jason Purantatameri to Ashton Hams. The right back pocket. Ugly kick. Almost the one-handed Harley Purantatameri. Jaden Watts on the ground. Trying to strip the ball away. Does strip the ball away. Steps back inside. Watts from 40 is across the face. It's hooking. Goal. It's hooking for a goal. Oh, wonderful play by Watts. Won the one-on-one. Did a sidestep. And a wonderful hooking goal from 40 metres out.
Yeah, he impressed me last week, Watts. I thought he was terrific. The nephew of former Brisbane Lion and Gold Coast son, Jared Brennan. But yeah, I thought he was terrific last week, and he's just a bit of Jared, certainly a bit of Jared Brennan about him. Young player, and I think Districts have got one here, but look at that. That's a bit of Jared Brennan about you every day of the week.
So the Crocs lead by 7 points, 15 minutes first quarter. Great first semi-final at TIO Stadium. Winner of this will play the loser of the next game, St Mary's and Nightcliff, in the preliminary final. Monagatti wins the tap. Comes out to Michael Barlow. Rory O'Brien. They've got a strong midfield today, the Crocs. Cruz comes charging out from centre half back and takes the mark. Wants Chikura. The 222s will do battle. Two ex-AFL players. Jaden Schofield, the former Bulldog, wins it. Sockers off the ground. Monagatti spoils away there from Gallo. Tambling scoops it up. Two more ex-AFL players. Wanamiri tackled him. Watts takes the mark. It's looking dangerous. Out to O'Brien. Back to Watts. No, on the bounce.
Stuff around with the ball like that. You're just allowed defenders to get back.
Almost a high tackle will be.
I just reckon Watts was in a position to get the ball to Will Farrer and his brother in a one-on-one.
Xavier Grant, horrible kick. Backwards looking for Alistair Darcy, straight down the throat of Ed Barlow, who line up for his second.
If they score here, Schofield set that up. I thought that was unbelievable what he did on the half-back flank there. He won a one-on-one there and turned the footy over. I thought a one-on-one against Jakura, the two ex-AFL players were going. I thought he was terrific. So
Ed Barlow for a 13-point lead to the Crocs from 48 metres. Wonderful connection. Wonderful goal, Barlow. And the Crocs get another one.
Well, Southern District's coach Shannon Rusker was pretty critical after Christmas of the Crocs, and rightly so. I think they lost their first 3 games after Christmas, and one thing that he was quite critical of was the fact that they're slow starts. But now they've got 4 on the board, and it's only 16 minutes gone in the first quarter. So if they keep this up, it should be a pretty high-scoring affair. But as you both pointed out, it's good to see this kind of intense footy in NTFL final series.
It's hard to read Crocs' form coming in. They played the 3 bottom sides, then they played Buffs. I always thought they were going to win last week against Buffs. Were a bit depleted, but they won easy. They had to go out there and do a job, but they're looking pretty good. Plus, they've got their full-strength side, and they haven't had their full-strength side in all year.
Monagatti, the tap down to Tungatalum. Tungatalum's kick. Oh, the mark has been dropped, but again, one wonderful passage of play. Dion Munkara centering ball. Jakura had to go hard against 3 Crocs. Warung might have been taken high. He was by Kurt Dunn.
Two things. Either one, Dion Munkara is a bit rusty, or Tungatalum's kick's too good.
Extraordinary. Jaden Schofield has been busy early. Michael Bowden sends it out wide to the wing instead of going back inboard to McLaughlin. The ever-reliable Dylan McLaughlin kicks inside 50. In from the side, Will Farrer. They're looking dangerous, the Crocs. Will line up for number 2.
I just reckon that's what that last kick of Watts could have been. He's kicked the ball sideways, allowed Tiwi to get numbers back. Just get the ball to the 2 Farrer boys really, really quickly in one-on-ones like this. Especially if you've got Barlow up there. So, a bit inaccurate, Willie. Looks like he's looking pretty confident running in straight. Hopefully he puts it straight through.
So for a couple of steps, and he's hooked the kick. And Jaden Watts comes off for a rest. So they're managing him pretty well. He's been on and off the ground.
Yeah.
Busy first 18 minutes. So that's a bad miss let off for the Bombers. Roy Farmer, ball in hand. Restart for Tiwi. Ashton Hams in front of Horbury. Still deep in defence. Good manning up by the Crocs. So Farmer tries to switch play, makes a lead into the left back pocket. There's nothing there either. And they're closer to the goal they're defending. Wonderful play, pressing play by the Crocs.
See, this is the best I've seen Tiwi ever play in a final, ever. They're not handing the ball over, they're controlling the footy. I just reckon they're a side that were easy to coach against. You'd force them here to a bailing kick, but they're refusing to do it. Just controlling the football, it's good.
And Mullins made some space, and we got hit late. Should be a free kick. Play on the call. Okay, I thought he was taking front on. Innes dives over the top of Dunn. Here's the intensity of the Crocs. Gala tried to handball to himself. Mullins gives it back to Dunn. Dunn's kick's terrible. Straight down the throat of McLaughlin. Opportunity here. The low kick looking for Tambling. Hand reaching in there from Jason Purantatameri. The strong body of Tambling wouldn't be knocked off the footy. Good play getting it to the boundary line. Throw in 30 out from the Crocs goal.
Yeah, they're just no bailout kicks today by Tiwi. Their process is the correct process, is what they're going through at the moment. So they're a chance, I reckon.
And we know with their pace, once they've got room, they can go quick.
Innes up against Simpson. Simpson in front, only as far as Tambling. Up in front, Farah. Had it knocked away. Michael Dunn. Slick hands. Garlett, those pinched it. And his quick snap is through for a behind.
It's about the third time in 3 minutes that Tiwi Bombers have handed it to Southern Districts.
It's that pressure, isn't it? They're swarming.
And dangerous places as well. It's always been inside Southern District's 50.
So Dion Mankara has drifted down into the goal square to bring the ball into play. Closing in on quarter time. Michael Dunn eventually controls the footy. Sends it out to Kurt Dunn. He's spilt the mark. Ogden comes into the pressure. Or was it Cantilla? Might have been Cantilla out there. Well played. Ed Barlow cuts back through traffic. Pokes a little kick backwards to Michael Bowden. In towards the pocket. Up in front there was Farah. Keeps his feet. Clever tap. Going to be socket off the ground. Eventually bobbled through by Josiah Farah. No. Hit the post.
Hit the post.
Opportunity missed again.
Good work by Tiwi, just with a fast play.
They're dropping some marks, aren't they?
Made a mess there.
Darcy on the chest, bounced off.
Just got a text message from Wayne Walsh, ex-assistant coach in Tiwi's only premiership year and the father of #1 Carlton draft pick Sam Walsh. So Walsh, he lived here for a while. It's good to see him watching the telecast, and welcome to everyone down south. We know it's the game is the NTFL's really grown in Victoria and the southern states.
And as a Carlton supporter, thanks for Sam. What a superstar. Kick from Owen Henry. In front, Chris Jones. Holman from behind. What a duel that's going to be all afternoon. Big burly Tom Holman against tall, lithe Chris Jones.
Holman from Kyabra. He's not used to losing games of football. I think he's lost one game in 4 years. So they're an absolute powerhouse in the Goulburn Valley.
4-5 districts, 2-1 Tiwi. District could be more than 16 points up, so Tiwi are doing well to hang in there. Horbury, O'Brien, tapped off the ground to Staunton, Sockers off the ground. Farmer stands in the way, has a little fumble. Watch out, Warren comes from one way. Farah came from the other. Baird handball over the top to Simpson. Cruz mightn't have been the best option, but shrugged the tackle and kicks up towards half forward. Lake and Mullins. Lake got the tap away. Dion Mankara. Coming the other way there was Horbury. Out to Charlie McAdam. Jaden Clark offered the Shepherd. Darcy drops another mark. Shrugs the tackle. Gets rid of Innes. Not quite. The handball was pretty sloppy. Simpson, Staunton. His handball's charged down by Hams. Off the ground goes Jaden Clark. Screaming for it's Ogden. He'll come one way. Cantilla the other way. Ogden, was he taken down without the footy? I think he was.
Well, they've got the numbers if they play on. No.
So Cantilla wins the free kick defensive side of the centre. 23 minutes gone first quarter. 16-point lead to the Crocs. They've got another goal in them, the Tiwis, to bring it back to a 10-point game. Roy Farmer. Dion Mankara. Marks in front of Josiah Farah. Plays on pretty quickly. Spoil came from Rory O'Brien. Matthew Cantilla. Will Farah goes to ground. Cantilla tried to beat the tackle. Should have gone out to Farmer. Pinged in the tackle holding the ball. Farmer was screaming for it. 10 metres clear on the wing.
They've set up well defensively, Tiwi, behind the footy. They've done really, really well.
And he's hurt just to rub injury to insult. Josiah Farah, Staunton. They might have a goal in them. Staunton pokes a kick over the top. Oh, Horbury drops a mark. Is it slippery out there? There's no rain. Could be sweaty. There's certainly lots of pressure. Cruz over the top. Simpson waited for the bounce and gather it, and then thumps it long in the Wanamiri direction. He worked his way to the front, but he spilt the mark, and Lake mops up with it. Lake kicks long, back inside attacking 50. Horbury Cruz slides across in front of the pack, gets one over the shoulder and gets the advantage. He tries a bounce, doesn't come back to him. And the siren for quarter time. And don't the Tiwis need that. 2-1-13 the Bombers. They trail Southern Districts 4-5-29.
You are one of almost 140,000 people living in an area at risk of being affected by a cyclone this wet season. In your cyclone kit, you will need a battery-operated radio and torch with spare batteries, enough food and at least 10 litres of water per person to sustain you and your family for 72 hours or more. Remember, all important documentation such as passports, photos and insurance policies should be kept in a safe and waterproof place. Be prepared this wet season. Brought to you by TIO.
Oh, yeah! Gee, she got a leg on her, right?
What a show-off.
Did you see my goal?
Hey.
I thought I played a deadly game.
You should be ashamed of yourself and showing off and asking for all that attention. And looking like that.
You can do something to change the ending.
Did you see my goal?
Hey.
I thought I played a deadly game.
What? You should be ashamed of yourself and showing off and asking for all that attention. And looking like that.
Is this your right?
You want to come over to the club with us?
What? You're not going anywhere. You're coming with me.
Oh, come on, Bruss. What are you going on about? Look what you're wearing. It's the same thing. We're going, having a chat.
You can change how it plays out.
Hey, bro, you all right or what? Come on, man. Let's go have a chat. Gotta be better, man. What's going on?
Do something to change the ending. It's everyone's responsibility to prevent violence.
So we can feel forever, yeah, feel together, real together. No one can stop. No one can stop. Nothing can ever bring me down.
We've always done it tough in the Territory because tough always has to be done, and where the needs of many sometimes require the actions of one. As we head into the storm season, Power and Water is committed to doing what needs to be done, building and maintaining the engine room of the Territory, investing in our communities, and always focused on one thing: protecting what's truly precious. To protect your loved ones this storm season, visit powerwater.com.au/prepare for tips and fact sheets.
CFS Schoolwear is the perfect choice for quality custom-made school uniforms. Ideal clothing for all school-related activities, whether it's 50 or 500 students, we have what you need. Contact the Cricket and Football Shop NT for your free CFS Schoolwear quote today.
Let's see. Roma, Verona?
Perhaps Barcelona.
Make your dream holiday a reality. Book your next getaway at Flight Centre with interest-free holidays and flexible repayment options.
Best in the air.
And everywhere.
Flight Centre.
Intersport, new concept store now open in Casuarina Square. Come in and check out a world-class shopping experience.
Dedicated sports zones.
Now stocking only the biggest brands in tennis, cricket, fitness from treadmills to benches, boxing, swimming, darts, pool and table tennis. For awesome service and advice,
come in and see it.
Still locally owned and operated, the all-new Intersport concept store.
Now open at Casuarina Square.
We're here for when the heavens open and the winds howl. We're here for when the water just won't stop. We're here for the wet and we're here for the dry. We're here because we know there's nowhere else you'd rather be.
And there's nowhere else we'd rather be either. TIO Home Insurance. We're for Territorians.
Welcome back to TIO Stadium, where it's quarter time in the semi-final with Southern Districts 4-5-29, the early lead up against Tiwi Bombers 2-1-13. Matt Hepworth, Ricky Nolan, Rob Cross with you this afternoon. A lot riding on this game, gentlemen. Of course, the winner will play tonight's loser of the semi-final between Nightcliff and St Mary's. And well, the loser, they can pack their bags and head to Bali for an end-of-season trip. It is game over. Ricky, what did you think of the first quarter?
I thought Districts were pretty dominant. I probably think they should be probably about one more goal up.
Yeah.
I think the process of what Tiwi are doing is good. Not once did they kick the ball down the line and turn it into a 50-50 or turn it into contested footy, because that's not their go. So I like the process, and if they stick to it, I reckon it's going to be a pretty close game. But no, I think they were pretty good out of the middle districts, and they're changing their forward structure around fairly well, and they're close to full strength for the first time this year.
Both sides mixed up, didn't they, Rick, with Chris Jones playing up forward for Tiwi. We've seen him play in defence most of the year. Ham spent a fair bit of time down in the forward line up until the latter part of that first quarter.
And both moves worked, I reckon. So Alistair Darcy went back as well. I thought he defended well. Tiwi would have been in a bit of lucky. Jason Poor and Tony Mary didn't get locked out, didn't get scrubbed out this week, because I thought he was pretty good defending down back as well. So
Jeffrey Simon's gone into the middle. He's an interesting player. We saw Jaden Watts have a wonderful first quarter, kicked a terrific goal. And every time we see Watts, we get excited. We've also seen glimpses of Simon throughout the year show the similar sort of form. Bit of consistency into his game would be good.
Yeah, he's Watts has impressed me. I haven't seen Districts a hell of a lot this year, to tell the truth. But he's popped up from nowhere last week. I thought he was absolutely brilliant. So a bit too far to go past the Berrimah line out all the way out there. So we played a few away games towards the second half of the year.
Watts on the wing with Owen Henry. A bit of height as well. Jaden Watts. He's a nephew of Jared Brennan. Gallo in the ruck. Huge frame up against Jack Monagatti. Ed Barlow making his way back down to the goal square there for the Crocs. He's kicked 2 already.
I reckon Shannon Rusker should have really pumped up Patrick Gallen. I reckon he's a pretty good start. They just need him to keep contesting like he did that quarter. Don't expect him to win the game. Just keep contesting, be a big body. He did really well that quarter.
Umpire Mark Noonan throws the ball aloft. Monagatti leaps early into the bigger body of Gallo. Nullified each other probably. Comes out to Tungatulum. A couple of spearing passes in the first quarter. There's another one again. Too much sting on it for Jones. Hit him on the chest. Well, he's got a good kick. Holman comes up with a footy. Off to Jaden Schofield. Wonderful handle over the top for Dingo. He couldn't quite grab it though. Mullins was pushed off the ball by Holman, and it goes out of bounds.
Ashton Ham's out of the middle. Just a really good contested footy to hit a target to Ross Tungatulum. And those kicks inside 50 are a 10 out of 10. Maybe they're too good of a kick.
Too many wheat picks for breakfast.
Monagatti to front spot. Out of mid-air went Simon. Out comes Munkara wanting Heenan. He soccers off the ground. Jones, can he scoop up the footy? Holman desperate in defence. Socker off the ground, was touched. Desperate effort by Holman. And a behind only.
Must be a good decision because no one's whinging. So
out to Schofield, who's everywhere. Switches sides very quickly. Garlett, long way up from the forward pocket. 4 last week. Probably his best game for the Crocs. He's been building his form.
Again here, both sides refused to go with a bailout kick.
Cadham to Michael Barlow.
Even there, head on a swivel. He's looking for something inside. There's obviously big instructions from both coaching staff, I would say.
Owen Henry. Good pressure came from Watts, but Henry was up to it. Into the middle to Heenan. On the bounce, he's got Michael Dunn sliding by, goes back on his right boot, he's got Wanamiri at 50. Austin Wanamiri plays on very quickly. Jones has broken away from Holman, you rarely see that, but slick movement and switching by the Bombers created some space for Jones. 30 metres out, 45-degree angle for his second.
I said before, he's a Box Hill Premiership player and plays for South Croydon in the Eastern Footy League, but predominantly a backman. I think he made he was the centre-half back in the Eastern Footy League Team of the Year last year. So predominantly a defender, but he's been very, very good today.
It's a lovely kick of the footy. Comes in, this one's across the face, through for a behind. So we saw some misses in the first quarter from the Crocs to that side. And now a miss from the Tiwi Bombers, the margin to 15 points. This ball's brought back into Schofield. Short kick to Michael Barlow. Got it on the bounce. 1-2 with Schofield. Charlie McAdam just gets his kick away before Harley Porrentuna-Mary came at him. Horbury drops the mark. Wanameri did well to pressure him. Still Horbury in trouble. Still got him over the footies and holding the ball. Yes, sirree, says Michael Noonan. Wanameri will line up from 45.
Yeah, Horsby, we're in a final in the Northern Territory. I reckon if you make a mistake, especially against the Tiwi Bombers, they're going to make you pay. So just can't make those simple mistakes at this level of football in March in the Northern Territory. Distance shouldn't be a problem for Austin, a former Melbourne Demon.
So bring the margin back to 8 points. Good start to the second quarter by the Bombers. Distance is not a problem. Accuracy isn't either. Goal to the Bombers. Gets the high fives and appreciation of his teammates. And the Bombers creep back that little bit closer. 3-3 to 4-5.
It'll be good for Austin's confidence there, so put that straight through the middle. But yeah, it's a good level of football. Ball's moving. As I said, there's not many kicks down the line there. Both sides are really wanting to play that possession game. Ham's gone in the middle. I don't think he played there once last quarter with Munkara and Tangatalam, so they've probably got their three best midfielders in there.
With Monagatti to feed them. Dominant first quarter by Districts. Maybe didn't do enough damage on the scoreboard. Monagatti, here's Tangatalam again.
So quick.
Josiah Farrow, haven't seen a lot of yet, which is dangerous for the Tiwi Bombers if he starts cutting loose. Jaden Clark wanted the bounce. Didn't come back, steps back into Monagatti, just got a handball away to Watts. Rare fumble, still Watts though, still controlling the footy. Coming at him was Darcy over the top. Darcy wanted Monagatti to go at it. Monagatti wanted Watts to Darcy to go at it and didn't grab the footy. Jaden Clark falls over. Gallo handball to Watts, back to Monagatti. Has the ball stripped down, charges into Schofield. Play on the call, still going Monagatti. Good desperation. Watts as well. What endurance by Jaden Watts. Might be a head-high bump, front on contact against Schofield. Free kick to Tangatalam. But Watts refused to give up, went from contest to contest. And in the end, a clumsy free paid against Schofield.
I reckon Ross Tangatalam's just building coming into this final series. He's
got 52, Rick.
And 50 will go close to kick. And but Jake Long got hold of him last week. I think Saints put a fair bit of work into that, and I think Jake got hold of him. But the 3 weeks before that, I just reckon he was building into a pretty good final series, and he's certainly Tiwi's best at this stage.
We've seen him deliver some beautiful passes over about 50 metres so far this game. So he got from the standing start from 55.
One of the most talented footballers in Australia.
He's got the short pass, that's what he's got. Playing for a free kick maybe there was Jeffrey Simon, and it goes over the top through for or a boundary throw in.
Good defending by Lake. His starting points right with him.
Left forward pocket, still a chance for the Bombers who try by 8 points at the 6-minute mark of the second quarter. Simpson, clever tap, but only as far as Charlie McAdam. Leaves it there for Dingo. Ashton Hams is dangerous. Hams hooks the kick around the corner. Doesn't get enough hook on it. And it's a behind only.
A bit finals footy. Dingo with a fumble there. Nearly cost a goal.
Michael Barlow wraps his mitts around a strong chest mark. Into Will Farrer. Oh, turns it over though. Oh, Darcy's spilled another one. Keeps it in front. Not for long though. Staunton comes up with a footy. Danger here. Crocs are away. Well, wrong receive from Jaden Clark. Pokes the kick out of the top to Horbury on 50. Horbury can play on quickly to Barlow. He's held up.
Got one-on-ones everywhere. Get it in.
Now he kicks it towards the pocket. Garlett in from the side. Cruz, but didn't get enough on the spoil. Garlett mops up and misses from point-blank range. Oh, Jeffy.
Hit the post. Umpire's home. It's the importance of getting it in quick. You see there it was spoiled, but if you don't allow the defenders to get back there and it's a one-on-one, well, Garlett's got a second chance at it.
Roy Farmer.
Before the cavalry gets there.
Harley Porrentuna-Mary, the green boots. Chikura. Left half back inside defensive 50 airport side of TIO Stadium. Morris Rioli grandstand wing. He thumps it long to the wing. 2-on-2 battle. Jones and Holman. Holman nudged Jones under the footy. Dingo goes at the ball. Heenan comes at Dingo. Still Dingo. Heenan does well. Now dribbles out of bounds. There's a change. Darcy off. Michael Dunn on. Not Gadding having a spell on the bench as well. John O'Mullins and Owen Henry for Tiwi, who are just down in front of us. Southern District's bench a little further away. Oh, Dingo's taken offence at something Simpson did. He's still going on with it. Holman. Schofield, Clark, I should say, on the bounce to Farah. Handball's back inboard to Ogden. The whistle's gone, and Ogden will have to hand it back to the boundary umpire. Simpson really upset Dingo there.
Yeah.
And Simpson's trotted down to do the ruck work with Innes. Inside attacking 50 for the Crocs. 30 out from their goal. Simpson won the tap. Will Farah comes up with a footy. Hams couldn't take the awkwardly spinning ball. Cruz back outside defensive 50. In front, McLaughlin takes a strong mark under pressure from Harley Purantatameri.
Good numbers, Tiwi behind the footy.
Thumps it long. Ed Barlow. Ed Barlow up. Can't bring the footy down. At the back of the pack, Jason Purantatameri. Flares it out in that Cantilla direction. In front, those O'Brien. Cantilla got their latent sport to his own advantage. He might be a bit quicker. O'Brien will be a bit stronger and throws him over the boundary line, and wants a holding the ball decision. He won't get it. It'll be a throw in.
Moved pretty quickly then, O'Brien.
This game's got it all. Hard tackling, a little bit of niggle, some good skills. Lights are on here. Gloomy afternoon. Simpson smashes it 30 metres. Back to Jakura. Little fumble. Finally gets it onto his boot. As far as Michael Barlow, though. Handball back into Charlie McAdam. Inside the centre square. He's about 80 from goal. Unloads to the square. Ed Barlow's worked his way to the front. A hold. And he's been holding the defender, which is an unusual decision, as Baird was caught behind. Barlow had a big mid of jumper, according to the umpire.
He really protected that drop zone, Barlow. I think he had him on toast if he hadn't grabbed his jumper.
Jakura to Jones. Jones had 2 to beat. Oh, clever little toe poke kick there. Came from Cruz, who's been good today. Kicks to Tungatalam. Wonderful pass. Tungatalam marks at right half forward, 80 from goal. Kicks to Wanamiri. Wanamiri through his fingertips. He had McAdam for company. Wanamiri works his way to the front, or at least to the side of McAdam. Keeps him close to the boundary line, and it's out of bounds 50 around from the Bombers' goal. End-to-end footy. Now the Bombers have a chance to score. They trail by 8 points at the 10.5-minute mark.
Want to get him back on for Tiwi, so they bring their number 1 ruckman in. He still won't get to this contest, though.
Just 1 goal for the quarter so far for either side. Harley Purantatameri. Cantilla went without it. Purantatameri dives in again. Michael Barlow, hands and knees. We saw that so often for the Fremantle Dockers. Ed Barlow, Ogden. Hard running Lionel Ogden back inboard there to O'Brien to Ed Barlow. Warung marks on his chest and plays to McLaughlin. This is a good passage of play. Back to Staunton. Staunton runs to 70 metres and kicks long to Garlett. Garlett on the chest. Beautiful play, Crocs. Worked it from half back, and Garlett will line up for goal 25 metres out directly in front.
Well done, Dean Staunton. Garlett had him on toast there, just had too much room, and that was a perfectly weighted kick. Interesting, Dean Staunton, one of the best players in the competition last year. He's been doing a recruit course with the Fire Brigade, so he's only been available the second half of the year. But they get him in a bit of form. Crocs, just everything seems to be coming right at the right time of the year.
Garlett for his first of the afternoon, clapped through by Will Farrer in the goal square. And a bit of a circuit breaker. Tiwi were pressing hard, but Districts just extend their lead back to 14 points at the 12-minute mark of the second quarter.
If speak about ex-AFL players, just see this kick here. Then well done by Barlow. Just ran in numbers here, Districts. Look at the numbers they're running in. Not turning the footy over, but perfectly weighted kick. Garlett just had him on toast, and that was an outstanding kick by Dean Staunton. Garlett, I spoke about Jared Waite for St Mary's. I reckon he holds the key, and I reckon this bloke, if he gets let off the leash for Districts, could be very, very dangerous.
Just with that passage of play before, it's something that I've seen Southern Districts do a lot really well this year, is share the ball around.
Gallo leapt over Montegating that time, did well to Josiah Farah. Michael Barlow's getting busy for the Crocs. Out to Watts. Left half forward, 80 out, pokes it inboard and inside 50 to Horbury.
Again, good usage going inside 50. Second time in 2 minutes they've really used the football going in well. Another guy coming into a bit of form, Osby, coaching South Bendigo in the Bendigo Footy League this year. So probably on the lookout for a few Southern Districts recruits, I would say, if he's coaching.
For the biggest lead of the game so far, if he kicks it.
Originally from Ballarat, I think. Don't quote me on. I think he won the medal in the Ballarat League a couple of years ago as well.
Right shoulder heavily strapped, not impeding him at all. Horbury's kick, umpires do a bit of work and it's across the face. So the margin 15 points, 5-7 to 3-4. Flags not moving at all over near the scoreboard. Still afternoon, bit of cloud cover providing some relief for the players. Pretty muggy as ever in Darwin. Jason Puruntatameri. Deon Mankara's been quiet.
District's just got to work hard here to try and keep this footy in their front half.
He's got Darcy. 2 grabs, held onto that one. Back inboard to Deon Mankara. Left footer, beautiful spot up. Oh, Simon's dropped a mark. He's got time to come and grab it though. And he's centering ball for Michael Dunn. Look out, Horbury in from the side. Taps to his own advantage. Cruz coming the other way. Socket off the ground into the path of Ed Barlow. Doesn't quite get to him. Goes out to Garlett. Threw it on the boot wonderfully quickly. Horbury drops the chest mark. Comedy of errors at the moment. Horbury comes up with it. Gives to Warung from 30 metres. Great kick to Barlow in the square. Oh, that was good by Warung. After Horbury dropped an awkward spinning ball, but in plenty of space. They had numbers everywhere inside attacking 50 with that quick transition back inside. And Barlow for his third.
Yeah, they turn the ball over in their front half. They've just got to work extremely hard to keep that ball in the front half and just don't let them play that run and carry game.
21-point lead to the District, 6-7 to 3-4. Starting to open the Bombers up a little bit.
I think a lot of that, those 7 behinds as well have been set shots by Southern Districts or shots that they should have had as goal as well. So the margin could be a lot higher at the moment.
Terrific camera work by the Kick Digital team and Aboriginal TV.
The boss down on the cameras
yes,
today,
I was going to say,
Ricky.
we must have a pretty good cameraman down at ground level.
We'll be concentrating hard, probably won't hear a word of what we're saying.
He'll watch the replay later, it's fine.
Looking for a pay rise.
I won't say no.
Montegating, Gallo. Horbury's everywhere at the moment. Lays a strong tack on Jakura. This sort of District's form, Rick, you could see it sort of challenging St Mary's and Nightcliff, I would have thought.
Yeah, yep. Won't argue with that.
If the ground goes Schofield, in the path of Watts. When Michael Barlow, a clean pick up on the half volley. Jaden Clark. Mullins for the Bombers to Darcy, and the Bombers are away. Up to Simpson, he's in front. From behind the spoil came from Holman, straight down the throat of his teammate McAdam, goes back to Dingo. He's got Jaden Schofield loose right half back and he marks. Schofield's having a wonderful game. One sort of a Daniel Bowles type role, isn't he, the Nightcliff half-back?
Yeah.
Josiah Farah.
Oh, they've got numbers out here.
Wonderful kick to O'Brien. He's going to mark on the 50. He can pop one over the top if he likes. He does to Tambling. Tambling at centre half forward, 50 metres out.
Not looking, Rich. He's pretty confident. Now he's having a look.
Josiah Farah. Here he is. Runs to 48. Very high kick from Josiah Farah. Won't quite make the distance. And slapped through over his head by Baird.
To allow Josiah Farah to receive that handball, Tiwi just got to man up a little bit better than that.
Michael Dunn, oh, dangerous kick. Hams has got 2 to beat. In front was Josiah Farah. Got pushed under the footy. O'Brien, Cruz, Tambling now for the Crocs. Swatted it away straight down the throat of Tungatulum. He has a bounce running away from Jaden Clark. It's pushed it. He kicks the footy and it's done just enough to miss his target, who was Chris Jones.
I reckon Districts can really put the foot to the metal here. I just reckon for a 5-minute period, I reckon Tiwi just aren't manning up. They're not chasing. They're not. I just reckon they can kick a few in the next couple of minutes and put this game out of reach if they really switch on here.
Warung, excellent. Gave it to O'Brien, gives it to Ogden. Darcy came at him late. Cruz, Jason Purantanamera, I should say, shrugs the tackle of McLaughlin. And then kicks down the line beautifully to Harley Purantanamera, just over Ogden's head. Centering ball, Tiwi's could be away here, surely. Taking the marks, Dion Munkara. Run on, Dion. Could have had a bounce. Kicks long to the square. Wanamiri, the spoil was brilliant from Dingo over the top. But Munkara, I reckon, just kicked it too soon, Rick. Could have had a bounce and run inside 50.
Yeah, and it's certainly Keegan Dingo's trademark, isn't it? That spoil through for a point. He's very, very good at it.
Schofield. Oh, and what a Warung. Been pretty good normally. This time Mullins comes up with it though. Second opportunity from Munkara. Beautiful kick into the square, and that quick turnover meant Jones was all alone. He's going to bang it through for his second. Much needed goal by the Bombers. Against the run of play, Tiwi get one back. 4-5-29, 6-8-44 Districts, 18 gone second quarter.
Districts made an absolute meal of that in the middle. We'll talk about scores from turnovers. You can just see here. Just here, you've got to first grab the footy, just turn the footy over. Too easy, and Dion Munkara will make you hurt.
Good to hear plenty of Tiwi fans here this afternoon. I saw the Thursday ferry across from the Tiwi Islands into Darwin was cancelled, so it seems they've still been able to make it across here in numbers and give them that little bit of a boost, given that they're still a few goals behind on the scoreboard at the moment. Their fans are really going to need to get behind them if they're to snatch this lead back.
2 goals apiece this quarter. A high shot. Harley Purantanamera wins a free kick. The margin was 16 points at quarter time. Closed it by a point, the Bombers. 15 points in deficit at the moment. Harley Purantanamera. Long to Jones. In from the side, Tambling. Jones up, got the footy, couldn't complete the mark. To Michael Bowden. Jakura lays a tackle. O'Brien, though, to Michael Barlow. Off to Dingo. His kick around the corner. Josiah Farrer in front of Darcy, who did well to spoil it away. Warung, Tungatalam wanted a teammate. Darcy slaps only as far as Dingo. He couldn't trap the footy. Squeezed it out, did Darcy. On the bounce, Heenan. Back to Darcy. Can he grab it? Diving over the footy was Dingo. Socketed it off the ground. O'Brien there for the Crocs. Gave it off to a teammate there in Innes. Off to Michael Barlow. Another possession to Ed Barlow. On the bounce.
They've got the overrun here at Districts. They should score.
He's got Jaden Clark. He's got Will Farrer. Jaden Clark, and he run onto the footy. Garland and Jaden Clark collide. Opening the door there for the Tiwi Bombers to clear. Although the kick's terrible. Straight to Ed Barlow. Runs to 45. Didn't think of sharing. Kicks the goal himself, and he's got 4. It's the Ed Barlow show at TIO Stadium, and Districts have brought up their half century. 7-8-50, Tiwi 4-5-29, 20 and a half gone second quarter.
Good leadership by Barlow. He was about 40 out. He had a couple of options, but he just said, I'm the man here. This is going straight through the middle. Yeah, they're just running in waves, Districts here. They just had numbers everywhere. Bit of a Benny Hill moment there.
It was.
Still came up with the goal. Michael Barlow's been important, Rick. Just that general through the midfield. Poise.
It's a guy that doesn't have issues finding the football at any level, does he? Played with Werribee last year under Port Adelaide Premiership coach Mark Williams.
Warung received the tap in the chest of Will Farrer. Couldn't take the mark.
But Will Farrer takes hangers and then drops chest marks.
Xavier Grant's kick was good into the path of Owen Henry. Finally sits kindly for him. Mullins on the bounce. Couldn't trap it in front of Schofield. So left half forward for the Bombers, 60 out from their goal in front of the Morris Rioli grandstand. Simpson, Owen Henry. Jones and Wanamiri there, 2-on-2 battle. Jones spoiled it down. O'Brien's just playing that sweeping roll across half back, the loose man, but kicked it only as far as Jeffrey Simon. He's got Mullins in the pocket. Took a long time, ignored him. Goes to Jones instead. Holman's lurking behind, worked his player under the footy. Ball spoiled out of bounds. 30 around from the Bombers' goal.
Talk about Districts in, say, Preston, St Mary's or Nightcliff. There's not too many holes in their side. I reckon as a coach, if I was looking at that side, I'd be pretty happy going in with any one of these players in the final. So you're not wrong. They could be a threat.
Staunton was good, pushed away from a couple of tackles. Kicks it back into the centre. Jaden Clark. Knocked away by Roy Farmer. Numbers again with the Crocs. Josiah Farah. Hard contact came from Monagatti the other way. Garlett was brought down by Monagatti. Just got boot to ball. Might have opened the door for the Bombers. They need to be quick. Won't be long before half-time. The spiral torpedo. And there's that little man, Rory O'Brien, courageously standing in the hole and playing on quickly and flaring it out towards the wing. Brody Lake sweeps the handball over the top. Michael Barlow back to Lake. Up to half forward, has a bounce, can pop it over the top now. Long in the Will Farah direction, dropping back on him, Jason Purantata-Mary. What a defender he is. Jason Purantata-Mary, wonderful play on the stroke of half-time. Saved a goal. And at half-time, Districts lead by a handy 21 points. 7-8-50, Tiwi 4-5-29.
You are one of almost 140,000 people living in an area at risk of being affected by a cyclone this wet season. In your cyclone kit, you will need a battery-operated radio and torch with spare batteries, enough food and at least 10 litres of water per person to sustain you and your family for 72 hours or more. Remember, all important documentation such as passports, photos and insurance policies should be kept in a safe and waterproof place. Be prepared this wet season. Brought to you by TIO.
Wow, what a deadly player. Gee, she got a good leg on her, eh? What a show-off. You got that goal at the end.
Hey, babe.
Hey, girls.
You right?
Hey, we're just talking about...
You're loving all this attention. Who are you trying to impress?
What do you mean?
You know exactly what I mean.
I'm not trying to do anything.
You can do something to change the ending.
Wow, what a deadly player. Gee, she got a good leg on her, eh?
What a show-off.
Yeah, isn't that a part of the game?
Yeah, come on, bro. You should be proud of her. She's a deadly player.
Pretty good, ain't it? Unbelievable game. Unbelievable.
Hey, babe.
Hey, what up?
Did you see my goal?
Oh, it was deadly.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty sick. I couldn't believe I got it.
Do something to change the ending. You can change how it plays out. It's everyone's responsibility to prevent violence.
Absolutely zero.
Zero.
Yeah, definitely.
It has to be zero.
Yes.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I don't think that's asking too much.
kilonewton centrifugal force, infrared remote control.
How does he do it?
24.5 kilowatt diesel motor.
He doesn't just know how to operate every piece of Kennard's high gear we get in, but also its service details and safety checks. I don't know.
It's as if he can hypnotise each piece.
Give me 2 passes with sauce. Coffee white with 1 bun with icing. No pink icing.
Yep, no worries, Terry.
Kellogg's making job easy.
Time to escape, cause I'm in need of warmer weather. Sail upon the stream to find there's someplace better. And I'm going far and wide. Ooh.
Great Northern Brewing Co., the beer from up here.
Looking for the best and brightest to join your team? At Quality People, we specialise in finding quality, hard-to-get professionals, and we have an office right here in Darwin. Kick your recruitment goals with Quality People. qualitypeople.com.au.
Now that's quality.
On territory roads, anything can happen, so you need to drive to the conditions. Speeding can get you into all sorts of trouble. Dirt roads aren't just dusty. When it's hard to see, they're dangerous. At water crossings, remember, You're driving a motor car, not a boat. High water can be deep trouble.
We're here for when the heavens open and the winds howl. We're here for when the water just won't stop. We're here for the wet and we're here for the dry. We're here because we know there's nowhere else you'd rather be.
And there's nowhere else we'd rather be either. TIO Home Insurance. We're for Territorians.
Choosing a health fund can be tricky. Some are too big, too small, or just not right at all. But with Territory Health Fund, you can make sure your cover is the right fit.
The NTFL clubs and umpires would like to share the following events and messages and thank their sponsors.
Getting my hands on the footy and just being with my mates.
I like being outdoors. It just makes me happy. I don't like it when I get yelled at.
It's pretty embarrassing when someone's shouting at you halfway through the game.
It makes me feel like I'm useless and I can't do anything.
We're just kids.
We're just here to have fun.
Let us do what we love.
Just let kids be kids.
For more information, please visit the relevant club or umpire's Facebook page.
AFLNT and the Northern Territory Football League would like to take this time to thank their premier partners, TIO, Northern Territory Government and the Australian Government. We'd also like to acknowledge our NTFL sponsors and partners, Statewide Super, Coca-Cola, Carlton United Breweries, Towards Zero, Apex, Power and Water, Kennards Hire, Flight Centre, Intersport, No More, Kazadis Palmerston, Sterling NT, Quality People, Bridge Toyota, Sharon, and a big thank you to our media and broadcast partners, Meets and Hot 100, 7 Darwin, the NT News, our Kick Digital team and Aboriginal TV team that are bringing this game as a live broadcast across Facebook and YouTube. Alright, so we're just a few moments away from resuming the second half of footy here today. As a reminder, the umpires and players are about to re-enter the field. Can we please ensure the field of play is now cleared? Alright folks, put your hands together for the Tiwi Bombers Football Club. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the field, the Southern Districts Football Club.
Half time here at TIO Stadium in the semi-final, and it's Southern District 7-8-50 leading the Tiwi Bombers 4-5-29. Matt Hepworth, Ricky Nolan, Rob Cross with you this afternoon. Gentlemen, an interesting quarter, an interesting half of footy, I should say. Southern District's seen the more dominant one, but Ricky, do Tiwi have enough to hold on?
Yeah, there's still, it's not over, there's still around. I reckon, yeah, Districts maybe even could be one or two, maybe 2 goals further up. That's how much better I think they've played, but this game is still very open. Tiwi can score very, very quickly.
Alistair Darcy's gone forward. Chris Jones into defence, which is interesting. Jones has kicked a couple of goals in the first half. Josiah Farah soccers off the ground into the path of Will Farah. Out to Tambling, to McLaughlin through his fingertips. Dunn stood in his way, but McLaughlin still has control of the footy. Tapped it away from Harley Purantatameri, back to Schofield. His high kick reaches the paint of 50. In from the side there. And gathering it cleverly is Monagatti, about to be run down, just got his handball away. Tungatala mops up on the left boot, hooks the kick into the path of Owen Henry. Coming out of the way, that was Lake, and he got the kind bounce. Lake for the Crocs. All the Bombers, though, between centre half back and full back. Michael Dunn marks. Hits the chest. Purantatameri, that's Harley. Nice kick to Kurt Dunn. Better movement, Kurt Dunn's kick. Oh, he tried to move it quickly to Darcy. In front was Michael Bowden off the side of the boot as he tried to soccer it. Laid a good tackle low on Darcy. Lake to Dingo. And they can clear it momentarily only. Turnover, Owen Henry. Steps around Watts. Sends it in towards centre half forward, and Heenan coming the other way. Strongly was Staunton to Dingo. Josiah Farah, long 20-metre handball to Michael Barlow. Barlow wants a bounce, finally has it. Pushed towards the boundary line by Henry. To Ed Barlow, to Watts. So they've turned it over again, the Crocs. Owen Henry's spiral ball up towards Tungatulum. He's got front spot, but won't get to the footy. Watts gets there first. He's got some teammates and some support. The 1-2. No, Barlow holds onto it and goes backwards to Michael Barlow. And his kick straight down the throat of the Bombers, Jones.
Interesting, Jones has gone back this quarter.
Screaming for it on the wing was Harley Purantatameri. Dion Munkara quiet first half. The chest of Darcy. Kind of bounces off his chest, but he's able to swallow it at the second attempt.
Good turnover central in the first 2 minutes.
Absolutely. That's a nice kick to Heenan. And Paddy Heenan will line up for goal. 48 metres out, almost directly in front.
Why is there a 6'10" ruckman had to man up on Paddy Heenan then? So, yeah, Patrick Gallows not very fair on the big fella, but also he's got to use his voice and scream and demand that his backliner is on ball, has come down and help him out.
Nervy start to this third quarter. Districts hold a big lead. Heenan can trim it back to 15 points. Doesn't quite have the legs on the kick. Oh, brilliant mark! Wow. Taken by Wanameri. That's experience. He got rid of Holman, and that's no easy feat. Tom Holman, probably the best fullback in the comp, I reckon, Rick. Wanameri runs around, quick snap, and he gets his second. The Bombers are back within 15.
A bloke called Tom Davies, I reckon, goes all right for St Mary's as well. And Jason Purantatameri is no dud either. But that's a handy goal. Started well, Tiwi, but yeah, he just used his experience and his bulk, Austin, and just pushed him forward. And nudged him under the ball and took the goal. So, game on.
We saw 3 or 4 pretty crucial turnovers by the Tiwi Bombers within the first half. They had a couple there, but it was Southern Districts that had a pretty awkward turnover as well and led to that Tiwi first goal.
Yeah, both sides had their chances in the opening few minutes. In the end, it went back inside the Bombers' 50. Monagatti up against Gallo. Gallo won the tap. No chance of getting rid of that. And the umpire will come in and ball it up. It was Jaden Clark, who was wrapped up in a strong tackle. Clark will have another go. And again, goes to ground. Over the top, Harley Purantatameri. Nicely scooped up by McAdam. Out to Watts. Darcy comes up with the footy, surrounded by Crocs. Lake overruns the ball. Mullins ducks his head and barges through. Only as far as Horbury for Southern Districts. His quick kick straight down the throat of Jones, who was again camped at right half back. All alone, and takes the mark and goes for the switch. Nice kick out to the outer side to Matthew Cantilla. He's forced to go wide to David Cruz out at left half back. Garlett stands the mark. Jeff Garlett 4 last week against the Buffs. Just one so far today.
See here, Tiwi, they're obviously being instructed to keep away from that kick there. He really looked around trying to look for something else.
Cantilla worked his way to the front against Michael Barlow. Barlow came up with it, gave it to Gallo. Tries to share it back. Cantilla comes up the loose footy, 60 from goal. Low kick, missed his target. Out came Wanameri. Wanameri, his big strong body barges through. Harley Purantanameri hooks the kick around and over the shoulder. Is it going to be Mark Tungatullam in the square? Has to go back, unfortunately, to 40 metres out, just as Tungatullam would have lined up for goal. Toughish angle, but only 15 metres out. Instead, Harley Purantanameri will line up from 45 straight in front.
Rocco was probably in a better position.
He was, yeah. Yep.
2 early goals certainly put Tiwi in the right direction.
Stepped it up as Gallo just to the bottom left of screen there. The big Southern Districts ruckman coming off. Played well today. Monagatti hasn't been able to get away as we thought he might have, perhaps with his better mobility. So Harley Purantanameri easily got the distance and the accuracy. Goal to the Bombers. They're within 10 points. It's a 9-point ball game. 7-8 plays 6-5.
Here they come, just their ability to kick quick goals. You see the downfield. Doesn't really matter because he kicked the goal. But if he had missed it, I reckon there would have been some cries for Ross Tungatullam to have that kick.
Well, he wasn't happy when he had to give it back.
I think Ross Tungatullam would be happy to give it back 60 metres out on the boundary. He'd probably kick it as well.
He would.
Monagatti leaps high. Innes doing the ruck work for Southern Districts. Josiah Farah controlled the footy well over the head of Jones. Tambling, almost a clever tap. Back to Cruz of the Bombers. Quick kick, Horbury. Handball out to Staunton. 58, centering kick. Will Farah's worked his way to the front. Second grab, not there. Was it over the shoulder? Play on the call. Again, Jason Purantanameri working overtime. Top of the goal square. Dangerous. Quick snap. Didn't get full purchase on the footy. They dive on top of it. There'll be a ball up 8 metres out from the goal for the Crocs.
So to keep this ball in now too. Just got to watch Crocs letting Chris Jones just sit behind the footy there, a bit taking marks. So
Hams runs backwards towards the goal line and hooks the kick out to Matthew Cantillo. Worked his way in front of Rory O'Brien. O'Brien wrestles and then goes out of bounds.
So before it was Dean Staunton on Chris Jones, which isn't an ideal matchup, but maybe if Barlow goes and matches up on him on a 2v1, just gives a contest, it might leave Dean Staunton free in the forward line.
Innes, Monagatti. Monagatti comes up with the footy, got rid of Horbury with handball straight to Jaden Clark. He's immediately tackled by 2 Bombers players. One of those was Kurt Dunn, one Xavier Grant. So we'll have a ball up 65 metres out from the Crocs goal at right half forward. Innes leapt early, won the tap. Kurt Dunn, Dion Mankara. Well done by Lake, held his ground. Good one-on-one battle there with Alistair Darcy, and they've made about 30 metres along the boundary line, the Bombers, to centre wing.
Just getting their hands on the footy, the Bombers, especially at stoppages.
John O'Mullen's getting work done to his right leg on the boundary. Oh, this could hurt. Diamankara, horrible kick off the side of the boot to Charlie McAdams, streaming down from the wings. Ogden, it sits for him now. He gets onto his right boot. Lionel Ogden sets sail for goal and can't quite swing it left to right. And it's a behind. The margin is 10 points to the Crocs, 7-9 to 6-5. Wasting no time from fullback. Baird received from Jakura.
Wouldn't want to turn this over. Districts have got men everywhere.
That's exactly what they've done. Stepping around, taken by Jaden Clark. High kick. Will Farah comes out, clunks it. Does he? The second attempt. Push. And will be a free. So Farah, great intensity at the football, has come up with it. And he will line up for his second goal. His first goal this afternoon brought up his 50th of the season.
Need a captain's goal here, William. Really, really need this. Your club needs you to put this through the middle.
Missed one from here in the first quarter, a little further out, maybe.
Well, close. He's put it through though.
He has indeed. Little breathing space for the Crocs. The Tiwis have coming. They kick the first 2 goals of the third quarter. Districts get their 8th and lead by 16 points. 9.5 minutes gone third quarter.
Just run a heap of changes as well. Districts, virtually their midfield went off, so pay the marker a free kick. It was pretty similar, but just get the ball into nearly enough to claim the mark as well.
A lot riding on this game for both teams. The winner will play the loser of tonight's semi-final between Nightcliff and St Mary's. The loser is out.
Some big bodies in the middle for the Crocs. Michael Barlow, Dan Warung. Innes doing the ruck work against Simpson. Harley Purantatameri ducked into a tackle from McLaughlin. Play on the call. Slapped off the ground. Was good play by Warung. Harley Purantatameri had it, lost it, shrugs the tackle, throws the ball onto his boot to half forward. Tungatulum trying to hold off Bowden. Gave some space to a teammate, Matthew Cantilla from 55. It's a vacant goal square. But the kick's off to the side. And Lake running back with a flight of the footy, marks in the left back pocket. He'll switch it play to the right back pocket. Schofield marks.
The District's got the best 2 kids in the Northern Territory at the moment in Watts and Lake.
Yeah.
Oh, Lake drops the mark.
As I say that, he lets me down.
Kurt Dunn, Hams dangerous, should kick the goal. Hams, he has! Oh, the turnover there was crucial for the Bombers. They get one back, and the margin is 10 points the Crocs way.
Well, Ricky, that was a case of the commentator's curse, wasn't it?
I'm not going to wrap him up anymore, but it does happen with kids, and it's good. A couple of leaders have got over to him, so... Yeah, it's just this makes or breaks finals footy, this. Just can't turn those balls over. 3 ways in football you can kick. There's only 3 ways in football you can kick a goal. One is from a stoppage or a clearance. The other one is from a turnover. And the third one is from a fullback kick out. Only happens 7% of the time from a fullback kick out. 42% from a turnover and 41 from a stoppage. So the 2 keys are win stoppages and don't turn the footy over.
Innes has got a leap on him. Over the top there of Simpson in ruck. Michael Barlow gets taken down by Harley Purantatameri, who's lifted, I reckon. Harley's having a good quarter.
But I reckon the whole Tiwi Bombers squad's lifted this quarter.
Again, Innes jumps high. Tungatulum, oh, clever back tap. Who's he got to run onto it? McAdam got there first at ground level, squeezes it to McLaughlin. Oh, he's taken down very heavily by Wanamiri. To the wing, Horbury, clever, step back inside Mullins and delivers a wonderful kick onto the chest of Ogden. He can run to 45, pokes a kick to Garlett. Dunn drops back on him. Garlett has it spoiled away. Well done, Michael Dunn.
Yeah, very well, Michael Dunn. I thought he was on toast then. Just gets a stoppage, resets with a 50-50. Gets some numbers back behind the footy, so well done, Michael Dunn.
7-5 plays 8-9. 10-point lead of the Crocs. 12.5 minutes gone third quarter. Terrific. It's a close game. Bombers aren't going away. Quick snap there from Michael Barlow. Mullins and sees it through for a rush behind. 11 points the lead. Bombers through Heenan. Now to Cantilla. McLaughlin straining to get to him.
He's dropped a few today, Cantilla. Good to see him hold on to that one.
Low kick through the hands of Grant, but can he gather? McAdam does extremely well to dive back on the footy. The wrestle begins. Grant stripped him of the ball. Bowden comes at him, then holds him off the footy. Dives after it, wins a free kick for holding. Just held him away from getting to it. Well played by Xavier Grant. Wouldn't be denied. Centering kick to Wanamiri's up. Oh, couldn't quite. The stretch was just too much. Schofield comes out from half back. Sends it back to a nest of Bombers, though. Oh, big bump by Ed Barlow on Jones. Was a great physical confrontation. Baird goes backwards, not to a target, though, only as far as Will Farrer. Back through to McLaughlin. Handball too slick. Oh, going down hard was Jakura, taken high. And Jakura wins a free kick. Good, tough contest at the moment. The game's stepped up in intensity. Jakura defensive side of the wing. Rioli stand side. Montegatti did well. Got rid of the lighter Watts frame. Farmer had to turn back onto the right boot. Goes into the pocket. Cantilla bounced off his chest once again. Ducking down after the footy. Play on the call was McAdam. Monagatti comes up with it, the big man. Handball to Farmer. Farmer's kick was smothered by Innes. Off the ground goes Monagatti. Straight into the knees of McAdam. Barging through was Farmer. Tambling clever. Taps it to Innes. Free kick over the shoulder going to Richard Tambling.
Had the advantage.
He has Ed Barlow. Not much of an advantage, perhaps. Simpson crashes into Will Farrer. Soccering off the ground there is Michael Barlow. Can Mullins keep it in? He does just. Stays on the white line. He looked to go back inboard. Is that the best option? Jeffrey Simons had a long spell on the bench in this quarter's back on, and marks at right half back.
Exciting footy here at TIO Stadium.
Simon wants Tungatulum. Has it got the carry? It does. Wonderful kick. Jeffrey Simon's a player that could step up and lend some excitement. Oh, push in the face. Must be a free kick. It is. Tungatulum tried to sidestep around McAdam. The big palm right in the face, and the umpire saw it. No doubt about that free kick.
You're going to do the don't argue. You've got to hit the right spot of the body.
I was going to say it's... don't get me wrong, it's been a good standard game, and the heat's up. But there's a lot of chest marks being dropped, which is unusual.
11-point lead to Southern Districts, 15 and a half minutes gone. Good grab by Tambling. In front of Farmer. Ed Barlow makes a lead further down the line. Wastes no time, steps around Jones. Onto the right boot with a pokey little kick to Gallo. What's the big man got from 45 metres out close to the boundary?
Ribbit Tory, big fella. Bring the crowd into it.
Goes by hand to Michael Barlow. He sets it up. Will Farrer's got a run at it. Will Farrer took it. No, he didn't. He spilt the mark. Extraordinary. Baird soccers off the ground towards the boundary line. Michael Barlow, clean as ever. Back inboard. Comes to McLaughlin. Dylan McLaughlin's high kick. It's up with the breeze. It's got the hook. Will it be spoiled through? Bounces back towards Ed Barlow and then smashed through by Baird for a rush behind.
Oh, it's going to bounce through then.
What exciting football.
Crowd's going to get louder because the double-header today, so the St Mary's Knife supporters will start arriving now.
Jones, long kick. Up towards half forward. Keegan Dingo meets it with a double-fisted hand spoiled to his own advantage. Out it comes to the wing. To Lake. Out wider, and the Districts are in towards the forward pocket, but Barlow Air spills the mark, and it goes out of bounds.
Next goal is pretty crucial. I reckon it's played at a pretty high standard, high intensity.
Gallo comes down to do the ruck work against Monagatti.
Every player in the ground is in the Southern District's forward half of the ground at the moment.
Kicking to the Michael Long centre end. Ruckman nullify each other, maybe Gallo. Jakura soccers off the ground. Tambling stands in his way. Jakura tackled by Tambling. He's still got it underneath. Umpire Mark Noonan comes in and will ball it up.
Be interesting to see how long both teams can keep up this intensity. It's high intensity footy, which is of course going to be very exhausting.
Gallo, and as far as Mullins. Ogden steps around Cruz to the top of the goal square. Whoa, he leapt high, he leapt early, squashed the pack beneath him, and has given away a free kick and might have wounded big Chris Jones.
Would have been mark of the year if he had jumped about 34 seconds later.
Legs like springs, doesn't he, Farrer?
It's good, Will. I thought he was losing his spring a bit, but still got it. Just ask Chris Jones's head.
He's got to work on his timing, Rick.
Yeah.
He was up there. Jones has recovered. 2 goals to his name, but now he's playing in defence, where he has been most of this season for the Bombers. Jeffrey Simon comes up with a footy. Simpson in front of Holman. Tried the clever tap onto Tungatulum. Didn't work. Goes out of bounds. Changes being rung left, right and centre, Rick.
Rotation time. I'll give Big Gallo a bit of a rap coming into the final series. I thought that might have been their weakness, but I reckon he's been terrific today.
Absolutely.
Just having a crack. He's not best on ground, but he's just played his role.
Yep, for sure. Numbers with the Crocs. Horbury. Free kick though.
Oh, they're away then.
And it's no need to do that, Harley Porrentata. Merrick's a risk giving away the free kick.
100%. And that's what I think let Tiwi down last week. They're just too undisciplined.
Heenan. Harley Porrentata Mary wants it. Oh, he's going to get it. Yeah, courageous mark is coming hard as McAdam. He stood under it and marked it over his head. Plays on, wanting Tungatulum. One grab, couldn't get the other one. Michael Barlow. Now with McAdam. to Ed Barlow. Jakura in from the side. Didn't have to spoil it away. Farmer. The shepherd came from Jakura. Monegatti's about to be tackled by Jaden Clark. Hambling clever. Tapped it back into the path of Ed Barlow. He scoops it up in one grab. Gives to Michael Barlow. Michael Barlow's kicking to the path of Staunton. Wonderful play. Staunton runs to 30 and the Crocs get a great goal. From the wing to the goal square. Clean chain of hands and foot by the Crocs. And they munch their way to a 12 or maybe an 18-point lead. We'll check on that score. 18 points, 9-11 to 7-5.
We'll get a replay here. Richard Tambling, you set this goal up. We didn't go back further. Watch here. Watch Richard Tambling here.
Yeah,
Don't say experience isn't worth it. Just taps it to space and sets that goal up. So did he get a mark, a handball, a kick, a shepherd? He got no stat whatsoever, but it set up that goal. So good finish, Dean. Really, really well done. Or Fireman Dean, I might call him now.
Well, he might have doused the Bombers' challenge, Rick.
Yes. Still only 2 and a bit goals. I think there's a long way to go in this game.
Gallo wins the tap. Heenan soccers off the ground to half forward. Cantilla in front of Lake. Taps into the path of a teammate. Heenan's followed up. Oh, well done by Dingo. Desperate. Dived on top of the footy. Comes out to Michael Barlow. Out to Rory O'Brien. Back to Michael Barlow. Oh, well stripped of the footy by Hams. Play on the call. Back to Horbury. Back to Lake. Lake to the wing. They've got some poise, these Crocs. Staunton has it. Just have the answers at the moment. It's been a good quarter by Tiwi, but they haven't been able to get... Got within 10 points. Gallo. Josiah Farah, he could really cut loose in the last quarter. He's been solid without starring. McAdam's been wonderful.
3v1 here. They've just got to work it out. And
Dingo. Out comes Garlett. Here's Cruz. Last line of defence almost. Baird. Good poise to Monagatti. Darcy. Darcy up against Josiah Farah. Farah slightly stronger in the body. Bowden came in to help. Darcy falls over. Lots of red, white and black jumpers around the footy. Horbury can go low to Barlow. He's got 4 goals. He's too far to score this time, Big Ed. Doesn't mind the play on though. Does not mind the play on. Kicks long to the goal square. Over the back of the pack is Garlett waiting for the spill, and Jeffy's got one. Yeah. 2 to Garlett, and it's all the Crocs closing in on 3/4 time. The margin is 24 points all of a sudden after the Bombers got it within 9 midway through the third term.
Yeah, right. They just know how to reply at the right time. Just looking at district's list, and I was saying before, there's not too many holes, and I don't want to be that it was better in my day type thing, but I just reckon the top 17 players are as good as any single era, but I think with the points system and the fly-ins stuff, that has probably lost the bottom end of the list. But just looking at district's list, I do reckon they've got some depth there if they don't get injuries. So.
Look at Dylan Barry, who kicked 3 goals last week. Yeah. He comes back into this side. He's one you can immediately think of.
And even blokes like, say, a Rory O'Brien, who I sort of thought, is he over the hill to be flying in these days? But he's been absolutely terrific today. And Barlow, I thought, is he getting over the hill? These older players have just lifted. Richard Tambling before is not getting the possessions that he was getting, but still really, really doing a really good role. So the older players that I thought might have been over the hill are just having a really good final series.
Knocked away there by Kurt Dunn. Simpson, Holman wonderful. Watts comes in and sees it out of bounds at right half back. Good defence by the Crocs. They led by 21 points at half time. They lead by 24 points closing in on 3/4 time after the Bombers got it back to 9 points. Warung and Jeffrey Simon bumping and pushing, waiting for the ball to be thrown back in. Gallo and Monagatti. Managatti only as far as Josiah Farah. Oh, played by Michael Barlow. Tapped it to himself, got it away from Cruz, gives to Horbury, gives to Ed Barlow. Got it on a string, Big Ed. The former Swan Bulldog. In towards the pocket with a beautiful kick to Will Farah. 55 metres out. Plays on to Horbury, intercepted by Hams. One last chance maybe. Hams wants the boundary line.
He had no other intentions but to go to there.
There was no one there.
Boundary throw-in.
Oh, umpire, we're not here to watch boundary throw-ins. Pay it.
3 goals apiece to these sides in the third quarter. There it is, 3/4 time. So the Bombers closed. They're not completely out of it. But 4 goals in arrear at 3/4 time is a big ask. The Crocs 10-11-71. Tiwi 7-5-47.
You are one of almost 140,000 people living in an area at risk of being affected by a cyclone this wet season. In your cyclone kit, you will need a battery-operated radio and torch with spare batteries, enough food and at least 10 litres of water per person to sustain you and your family for 72 hours or more. Remember, all important documentation such as passports, photos and insurance policies should be kept in a safe and waterproof place. Be prepared this wet season. Brought to you by TIO.
Oh, yeah! Gee, she got a good leg on her, eh? What a show-off.
Did you see my goal? I thought I played a deadly game.
You should be ashamed of yourself and showing off and asking for all that attention. And looking like that.
You can do something to change the ending.
Did you see my goal? I thought I played a deadly game.
What? You should be ashamed of yourself and showing off and asking for all that attention. And looking like that.
Is this your art? You want to come over to the club with us?
What? You're not going anywhere. You're coming with me.
Come on, Bruss. What are you going on about? Look what you're wearing. It's the same thing. We're going. Having a chat.
You can change how it plays out.
Hey, bro, you all right or what? Come on, man. Let's go have a chat. Gotta be better, man. What's been going on?
Do something to change the ending. It's everyone's responsibility to prevent violence.
So we can feel, forever you feel, together being real, together. No one can stop. No one can stop. Nothing can ever bring me down.
We've always done it tough in the Territory because tough always has to be done, and where the needs of many sometimes require the actions of one. As we head into the storm season, Power and Water is committed to doing what needs to be done, building and maintaining the engine room of the Territory, investing in our communities, and always focused on one thing: protecting what's truly precious. To protect your loved ones this storm season, visit powerwater.com.au/prepare for tips and fact sheets.
CFS Schoolwear is the perfect choice for quality custom-made school uniforms. Ideal clothing for all school-related activities, whether it's 50 or 500 students, we have what you need. Contact the Cricket and Football Shop NT for your free CFS Schoolwear quote today.
Let's see. Roma, Verona?
Perhaps Barcelona.
Make your dream holiday a reality. Book your next getaway at Flight Centre with interest-free holidays and flexible repayment options.
Best in the air.
And everywhere.
Flight Centre.
Intersport, new concept store now open in Casuarina Square. Come in and check out a world-class shopping experience.
Dedicated sports zones.
Now stocking only the biggest brands in tennis, cricket, fitness from treadmills to benches, boxing, swimming, darts, pool and table tennis. For awesome service and advice, still locally owned and operated, the all-new Intersport concept store.
Now open at Casuarina Square.
We're here for when the heavens open and the winds howl. We're here for when the water just won't stop. We're here for the wet and we're here for the dry. We're here because we know there's nowhere else you'd rather be.
And there's nowhere else we'd rather be either. TIO Home Insurance. We're for Territorians.
Three-quarter time here at TIO Stadium and at Southern Districts, 10-11-71, leading the Tiwi Bombers 7-5-47. Matt Hepworth, Ricky Nolan and Rob Cross with you this afternoon, of course. Well, it's almost game over for Tiwi Bombers. Of course, if they lose this game, they will be out. The winner to play the loser of tonight's semi-final between Nightcliff and St Mary's, which both teams, or at least Nightcliff, are here at TIO Stadium getting prepared. But still a quarter to go in this game, Ricky. can Tiwi Bombers come back?
Yeah, I do. I reckon we'll see a fight. I'm not saying they'll win the game, but I do reckon there's going to be a 7-minute surge where the crowd really get behind them. So kudos to Districts. I thought Tiwi were really coming in, and then they come back and kicked a couple of goals late in that quarter. So well done, and that's a sign of a good side. Well done to the Southern Districts Football Club. Got the Tiwi. They had some powerhouses out at their huddle at 3/4 time. Cyril Rioli, the great Dennis Dunn, kicked over 800 goals in the NTFL, and also West Coast Eagles Premiership player William Rioli. So they had the big names down there at the huddle.
So just waiting for the two teams to get into position.
We spoke about
Ed Barlow, Rick, who's been tremendous today, made his way back to full forward.
Spoke about Chris Jones, whether Tiwi would put him forward, and I reckon it worked, but it didn't work on the scoreboard. So, yeah, you got plenty of the footy in that, but they just didn't get the. I'm not saying that the move, him going forward, didn't work, but on the scoreboard it didn't work. So they just didn't kick a winning score while he was there.
Underway in the final quarter. It's the final 20-odd minutes for one of these teams for season 2019-20 at the moment. It looks like the Tiwi Bombers, but they can score quickly. Tunnelled off the ground there by Jakura. Only as far as Jaden Schofield. Cruz doubling back with the flight of the footy. Takes a very well-judged mark at right half back. Gives to Hams. He's broken and made space out on the wing. Ashton Hams. High to centre half forward. Out comes Wanamiri. Dropping back courageously with a flight there was Bowden. Picked up by Kurt Dunn. Schofield shrugged a tackle. Back to Bowden on the right boot. Quick hack was only as far as Owen Henry. Can he get his kick away? Ogden was wonderful. Laid the pressure. Comes back though to Dunn. And he bangs through the first goal of the final term and gives the Bombers a sniff. Back to 18 points, 45 seconds gone, final term.
Yeah, I don't know when, whether it might be the first 7 minutes of the game, it might be midway through the quarter at the end, but I reckon we're going to see a big 7-minute surge from Tiwi. So I think Shannon Rusker had warned him about that, and it's just the way that it's going to happen. You just got to embrace it. So
desperate chase by Ogden, wasn't it?
It was a fair effort.
Almost pegged him. A snap by Kurt Dunn for his first of the afternoon. Give the Bombers some hope. Just 18 points behind. A minute and a half gone. Final quarter. Monagatti and Gallo. Ogden again gets busy. Tambling, hands and knees out to Josiah Farah. Sockers off the ground. Ashton Hams. Tungatalam. Kick towards half forward. Out comes Wanamiri. Holman behind. Wanamiri taken down without the footy, was he? Play on the call. McAdam's been terrific all day. Gives to Jaden Schofield, another solid contributor for the Crocs. He marks on the bounce to Ogden. Hams later tackle. Then they drive him into the ground and pushing him in the back. That was pretty obvious. Clumsy tackling by the Bombers.
I'm going to be careful, Districts here. They're just going to hit targets. Don't do anything stupid.
Ogden switches all the way back to centre half back where Dingo marks. He'll go straight down the ground, or at least out towards the flank.
O'Brien on here.
He's out in front of Jeffrey Simon, the 217s. Goes backwards to Michael Barlow, the space maker. Just knows where to run to give his teammates an out. Back in board to Ogden. To Josiah Farah.
He'll go here.
Kicks in towards the pocket. Ed Barlow, well stretched by Rodney Baird, though, in front of the pack and marks. To Owen Henry. Right at left half back, 60 metres out from the goal he's defending. Dion Munkara, he's been quiet today, runs straight into Lake, must be holding the footy. The umpires looked at each other, play on the call won't matter because Crocs are inside attacking 50 through McAdam. Out comes Farah. Pushed off the footy by Puranchata Mary. It taps it between his legs wonderfully and charges away to Baird. Back to Puranchata Mary's brilliance. He kicks to the wing and Monagatti. Courageous by Lake to sit under the big man. The spill comes to Kurt Dunn who kicked the goal. He might have been pushed in the back and held up. It is a free kick. Unlucky Brodie Lake.
It's a good free kick though. It allows Districts to get numbers back and resettle.
Kurt Dunn, 80 from goal, left half forward. I reckon a bit more energy than that. He's sucking in the breaths. Move it, move it. Mullins is just on.
I've just got 20 behind the footy and the call play on.
Mullins marks. Started the last quarter on the bench. He's still 70 out from goal though. Tungatalam offers the lead.
If I was districts, I'd put a massive amount of time into Tungatalum and Munkara, down Munkara. Just don't let them get on top of them, and I think they'll win the game. But if those two can run right, with Ashley Hams getting the footy to them, it's game on.
Bowden took a very strong mark, gave to Michael Barlow, out of Schofield.
They're away here. Rory O'Brien's made some really good space on the wing.
Garlett, still Garlett. Oh, he's had it a while. Goes backwards to Watts, through his fingertips. Jeffrey Simon, is he in a chance? No, McAdam, they still have the numbers. Ed Barlow had to stretch backward and mark. They've still got time. Staunton. Farmer was strong from behind, and he wins a free kick for a push. It's advantage Warung. McLaughlin, the Bombers gave up on it. Warung to 40. Warung kicks a goal, does he? Oh, right on the line. Purantanameri marks. The Bomber fans are up and about. They know there's still a chance. They trail by 3 goals. 4.5 minutes gone, final term. Cantilla pokes a little kick on the bounce to Xavier Grant. Not a great option. Mullins was hit hard by Staunton. Like a fire truck, Dean Staunton came the other way. Cantilla to Farmer. He has a fumble. Warung was bearing down. Shaw hands McLaughlin. Gives it to Staunton. He runs to 45. Vacant goal square. Dean Staunton kicks the goal, does he? Oh, it stayed in the field. It was touched by Cruz, in fact, before it went through for a behind. It was on target.
If it was a goal.
Siding passage, Simpson marks the kick from Cruz. 30 out from the goal he's defending. Airport end of TIO Stadium. 5 minutes gone, final quarter. Tiwi trail by 19 points.
Just
Michael Dunn.
Pair up districts. They've can't allow Tiwi to go on this run and get their crowd into the game. Just got to take the pace out of the game.
Great third quarter by Harley Purantanameri. And he marks on the wing.
Rory Farmer coming off here, doesn't look too good.
To Michael Dunn. Cruz, Ed Barlow coming the other way, got a hand to it, it's going to favour Barlow. He could get his 5th. Ed Barlow's got 5! And the Crocs have snuck out to a 25-point lead at the 6-minute mark of the final quarter. Bad turnover, Tiwis. Ed makes them pay.
That yucky word, turnover. You don't want to turn over it to Barlow because he just punishes you. So, handy goal, just takes the speed off the game. Michael Dunn being an unbelievable player for the Tiwi Bombers Footy Club, but if there's someone you don't want to turn the ball over, it's with this guy here because he doesn't miss.
Some game. I know you're a huge fan, Rick. Best player in the comp, I think you've said. Not quite that far.
Not quite that far. I reckon he's district's best player or most important player.
Oh, it's tough now. It's a goal apiece in the final quarter. It's a 25-point lead to districts. Tiwi got Monagatti. McLaughlin. Such a vital cog for this Crocs team, McLaughlin. Turns up every week. Monagatti. Mullins in the blue helmet. Hams over the top. Crocs come up with a footy. Horbury, Watts, dancing, kicking. Inside 50. Barlow in front. Knocked away by Baird only as far as Garland off the side of the boot. Clever kick to Tambling. Thought about playing on. Should go back and make sure of it from 40 out, 45-degree angle. He's still looking around.
Ultra critical of Garlic, I was at the start of the year, but he has been sensational over the last month.
Really found his form.
Well, he could barely find it, could he, Rick? And when he did grab it, he fumbled. But he's key player now. Tambling's hooked the kick rather badly, just scrapes in for a behind.
That could have been the icing on the cake for districts there.
He's got a man up here, Southern Districts. Can't allow that a kick that easy.
Cruz, right half back.
God, Michael Barlow could push a bit harder here.
Tambling's trying to keep up. Into Mullins. Hams got some room. Oh, great smother by Dingo. Hams was away down the wing. The intention was right. Execution didn't come off. Jeffrey Simon. Now they might get it to Hams. Schofield comes in to try and close him down. Hams steps back inside. Darcy, Bowden from behind. Darcy up, 1 grab, 2. Well done by Bowden. Chopping the arms, though, rules the umpire. And Darcy will get the free kick. It'll be a tough kick. 50 metres out, 45-degree angle.
I'm a touch worried about these older guys. Richard Tamley's got a bit of a limp. Barlow just couldn't go with Hams then. He just has to. If you want to come to the Northern Territory and win a premiership, Michael Barlow, you've got to push harder than that, not allow Hams to just run up the field.
Saw Farmer come off a little bit earlier. Saw he's just come back on now.
Alistair Darcy, don't mind him from here. He's a pretty good kick. He's kicked it out of bounds on the full. Do it every time, don't we, Matty?
Yep.
Every time. So miss for the Bombers. They trail by 26 points, 9 minutes played, final quarter.
See Richard Tambling coming off here. Oh, no one. I'd give him a rest. He looks pretty sore.
So from the back pocket, Schofield's high kick. Jones, wonderfully strong grab in front for the Bombers.
They need a goal here, Tiwi. Desperate.
Really crowded forward line. Who's he got? Simon breaks for him into the left forward pocket. More central ball. Owen Henry coming in from the side. Had it knocked away. Jaden Clark, Rory O'Brien, Brody Lake broke for him. Runs to the wing, kicks to Will Farah, pushes off Jason Purantatameri, the skipper, it sits for him. He should set sail for goal himself. He wants Barlow and gets him with a beautiful central ball. Baird tried his best to distract Barlow, but Big Ed has got his chance for a half dozen.
No players ran to Brody Lake. No, they are now. He absolutely set that goal up with a spoil. His second effort, his work rate, we throw... I'll take work rate over talent any day, and his work rate is absolutely second to none.
Ed for 6. And he's got it. That's going to be tough now.
Yeah.
10.5 minutes gone, final quarter. The margin is 32 points, and Ed Barlow has got 6 goals.
They can just take the pace out of the game now. No problems ever. And when you've got players like Barlow and that, they'll be smart enough to do that. This kid here is spoiled, and then he just gut run after that. Absolutely gut run.
Bit of credit to Will Farah. It's not often you get rid of Jason Purantatameri that easily either.
And he could have had a shot, but he sent it a good kick.
Well done by Ed Barlow just to keep his eyes on the footy.
I think with districts, I don't know much about him, but if he's got a culture of hard work, because I've coached Brody Lake a few times, he has got a culture of hard work. If you're setting that culture up, you're going to put your club in a very, very good position if they're the kids that you got coming through.
Well, the ball's hit for Tungatulum. It does. He got rid of Josiah Farah, gave to Heenan, but he's buried by Brody Lake. There's your man, and he's going to win a free kick advantage paid. Or was it play on? Warung tried to sock off the ground, got it only as far as Cruz though, to Tungatulum. Need some magic now, the Tiwis. Running out of time, margins growing all the time. 32 points behind. They started the quarter.
Wow.
24 behind.
Was good.
Chance for Owen Henry, who's been busy in this final quarter with another wonderful pass from Rocco Tungatulum.
Owen Henry, former played the premiership for Wanderers. He absolutely killed a final series. It probably would have been about 10 years ago. He was absolutely magic, that final series for Wanderers on grand final day.
A nice kicking action and gets the result. So the Bombers not quite dead yet. 9-5-59, margin 26, 12-13-85 districts. Only 12 gone final quarter.
They can kick goals quickly, the Tiwi Bombers.
Very quickly. Yeah, they've just got to take the pace out of the game here.
Yeah. Gentlemen, a big game in our AFL that we loved so much last night with State of Origin, Ricky.
Yeah, it was great to watch on a bit bruise-free footy, but a lot of goals scored. So I'd love to see the NTFL, and I'd put this as number one on their agenda, is that they've got to bring back next year, not in 2 years' time or 3 years' time. They need to bring in next year the Australia Day game rep side. Try and bring Norwood or one of the premiers from the Waffle or the SNFL or the VFL, chase one of the premier teams, whether it be Box Hill Hawks or something like that. Mate, a standalone side, probably if it's from Victoria and Williamstown or something like that, and try and get them up here. It'd be the number one thing I'd be doing NTFL next year, is bringing back the Australia Day game. Try to get a crowd of about 8,000 people here.
Yeah.
On the hunt for the quick reply here, the Crocs. Staunton was good, gave to Ogden. Ogden has a bounce, runs inside, attacking 50. Ogden kicks. Jones stands in the way. Or spoiled away. Arm chop against Farah.
That's where they just slow the game down. Don't give it back straight away, Willie. Slow it down. It's got to man up districts, force them into a slow play.
Spent the first half on the forward line, Jones. Oh, intercept by O'Brien. Well read.
Clever.
Plays on. Michael Barlow deserves a goal. Strolls into 35 and seals the game for the Crocs. 32-point lead at the 13.5-minute mark of the final term. Michael Barlow's had a very solid game. First one for the afternoon.
Yeah, nearly all over. Here, I reckon two things we've probably got to look at for next year. The Australia Day game, I reckon, will bring people back supporting the NT now. The NT Thunder concept's over. And probably got to review now. We're about 6 years into the point system and the fly-ins. Probably need to have a look at how that's working, especially the NT residents. I think they're just letting it go willy-nilly with fly-ins as long as you've got a driver's licence. So probably clamp down on a few things like that with the point systems. Another one is probably if you want to change clubs, this is just my recommendation. If you've got to play six games in the Div 1 for a club, to go to another club as a 0 pointers. Something they could look at instead of players just playing one game for Pints or Tracy Village and then changing clubs as a 0 pointer. So
Tambling, Mullins, Monagatti for the Bombers. Gallo laid some pressure. Tambling into McAdam. What a good game McAdam's played. Tough in the contest. Good skills. Back to Dingo. Long kick. Ogden's got some space. Simon came from the side, a little half-hearted. Back to Staunton. Staunton pokes a kick to Will Farrer in the pocket. Jones comes out. Farrer traps it. Jones lays the tackle, plays for a free, gets the free.
Gallen's another one. Won a ball there, like the big fella. Like 4 weeks ago, that's what I thought would be there, not having a recognised ruckman. But has he been in the best 6 players on the ground? No. But has he played his role? Absolutely. He's been just given a contest, used his body. He's been terrific, all the big fella.
Farrer lining up for goal number 52 for the season and his third today. Gave away one earlier this quarter to Ed Barlow when he was all alone running into goal from about this spot. So this for a 38-point lead, and he's away to the right. So he's missed a few shots today. He's probably got about 2-3, I reckon, Farrer.
Doesn't take enough steps. He takes 2 steps, then kicks the footy. He only kicked his 100 in the sea. He kicked about 120, I think. He had a really long run-up.
Wobbly torp from Cruz into the middle. Monagatti caught behind. Hams had a look before he grabbed the footy. Gallo gave to Keegan Dingo. Dingo drills the ball down the throat of Josiah Farrer. Michael Dunn. Cruz was tugged by Farrer. Play on the call. McLaughlin squeezes the handball to Ed Barlow. Back to McLaughlin. He's got Garlett. He's a little too far out, so he pokes a short pass. Wonderful kick onto the chest of the sliding Will Farrer.
I'll just wrap Gallo up again. Halve the contest. Him and Monagatti. All he had to do was halve it. Did he have to mark it? No, he didn't. He just halved the contest, brought it to ground, a little handball. It's just playing your role. It's just, I reckon he's been absolutely super, the big fella.
He's getting a rest for his troubles.
That's what well done to Shannon Rusker. Look, he could have easily flown another ruckman up, but he's just really improved, certainly in the back half of the year, because Shannon's given him an opportunity.
Will Farrer. Oh, he likes the tough ones. That's a better strike of the footy, but it just drifts across the face for another behind. Bit of a joke with Chris Jones. Probably saying I could have had 10 if I'd kicked straight. Jason Purantatameri. He's had a wonderful season again, but it'll be curtains after today. Monagatti, Innes, who's pretty good backup ruckman, I reckon. He's not as tall as the others, but he competes, got a good spring. Dingo tough as ever. Schofield somehow got rid of the footy. Matthew Cantilla. Oh, Dingo was pretty tough there over the top of Cantilla. Watts, Innes, Warung. Michael Barlow from half-back out to Staunton. Southern Districts in control of the footy, in control of the match, and on their way to a preliminary final against the loser of St Mary's and Nightcliff. Tom Holman enjoys a trot up from full-back, kicks into the pocket to O'Brien out on a lead. Dion Moncara is barely sighted today into Josiah Farrer. Not fit, Rick?
Who's that?
Dion Moncara.
Yeah, he'd been out for a long time. I think that's probably the biggest issue, but this might be a stupid call, but I reckon Districts are playing better now than what they were this time 12 months ago.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Better personnel, look fitter. Josiah Farrer for his first goal of the afternoon. Become the 7th Crocodile with a goal beside his name. Clapped through by Ed Barlow, who's got 6 to his name. Josiah's got 1. And they've got 100, the Crocs, and they lead now by 46 points. Or have I jumped the gun there? It's 40 points. 14-15, not quite the ton.
It's not a close game, is it? They've blown. It's an easy victory to Districts, but Josiah Farrell will go pretty well, I reckon, in the Nichols medal, not this Sunday, next Sunday night. But Rory O'Brien, another one, had a really, really good game. The only thing is, coming from 5th, I reckon I've got a bit of a theory. It happens, if it ever happens in a competition, it happens in this one, about once every 10 years it happens. Down south it happens about once every 40 years. But if it ever happens, it happens in the Territory. But you just need a bad quarter and it's all over. But and you just can't get a rest if you've got a few injuries. But if it ever happens anywhere, it happens in the Northern Territory.
McLaughlin, handball behind O'Brien. Michael Barlow, Innes, McLaughlin. To half forward to Josiah Farrell, leaping over the top. Jason Purantatameri, Warung. Neat kick to Staunton. Playing on it every opportunity. Barlow line out for 7. Great transition by the Crocs. Bombers have stopped. Their season's over. And the Crocs are going to roll on into a prelim next week.
How many is he lining up for?
7.
Wow.
He might go as number 1 in my Grey Morris top 25.
From 40 metres out, Ed Barlow has got 7. Well played by the big former Swan and Western Bulldog. Do you have one other club? It's just the two.
Just 2. I'd get him off. Yep, good.
15-15, 105 Districts. Tiwi 9-5-59.
Well, Shannon Rusk would pick up the telephone and say, "Thanks, big fella, for winning me another final. Now sit on the pine."
I've got no more room in the goals column either, Rick. So that's
coming up next.
Very good result.
Nightcliff and St Mary's. They finished 1-2 on the ladder. Ricky, thoughts on that game?
I think everyone in this commentary box reckons Nightcliff are in second gear at the moment. We've still got another 2 gears, but no Jared Waite. I just think he's a bit of a key, Jared Waite. But Saints are playing well. But it's always good to have a week off, come in fresh, and but it should be a good game.
And Nightcliff haven't played footy in 2 weeks.
McLaughlin. Baird behind him for the Bombers. Baird did very well. Knocked McLaughlin off the footy. Picked it up himself. Centres it to Jakura. Innes running back with a flight. Jakura not paid the mark, but got it to Tungatulum. Into Harley Purantatameri. Schofield was right, awake to the fact he might play on and strip him of the footy.
He's been pretty good, hasn't he, Schofield?
Excellent. Was last week as well. Warung. Out to Will Farrer on the bounce. Jason Purantatameri corrals him. Gives it back to Jaden Watts. Watch out. Well tackled by Cantilla. Knocks the ball out of his hands, but Watts fights on. He's tackled again by a Tiwi bomber in Roy Farmer. And this time it goes out of bounds. He's got a free kick. Oh, was that for... Didn't have it or over the shoulder? Not sure. Thought it was just a good hard tackle. But anyway, umpire saw something I did. And Jaden Watts has a chance for his second goal. His first was a ripper. And as the nephew of Jared Brennan, probably thought he might have kicked that. He didn't. Garlett flew high from behind. Down to the path of Chris Jones. Kicks to Jakura. And he marks in front of Michael Bowden. So Jakura for the Bombers. Inside defensive 50. Airport end of TIO Stadium. To Michael Dunn. 22 minutes gone, final quarter. Big last term to the Crocs, and there's going to be a 50-metre penalty coming up here for Tiwi. We'll take them up to centre half forward.
Just District's ex-AFL players in Jeff Garlett, Rory O'Brien, Schofield being unbelievable, and Michael Barlow. It's just them playing well. It's changed the whole dimension of their football club.
Jeffrey Simon marks an excellent pass from Michael Dunn.
Richard Tambling, another AFL player who has had more than a serviceable game.
Bombers 2 goals this quarter. They started the final term well, but it's been all Districts since with 5 goals of their own. They've kicked 8 goals since half time. Jeffrey Simon, a talented player. We don't see a lot of it from time to time, and he's been a bit inconsistent today, but he finishes a game on a high. It's just got the legs, I think, to clear the pack on the right on the goal line. A goal to Simon. And the Bombers, a neat way to finish their season 2019-20. There won't be long to go at the 23-minute mark. 10-5-65 Tiwi, Districts 15-15, 105. It's a 40-point ball game.
We've spoken a lot about the different tiers in the competition this season, with Nightcliff, of course, finishing first on the ladder, St Mary's in second, Tiwi in third. But what's been really surprising is the Tiwi Bombers final series has been pretty underwhelming, Ricky.
Yeah, out in straight sets, boom, boom. So I think they finished third last year and they've slipped back to fourth. So
they're just not final specialists, are they?
Yeah, they'll probably do a bit of a review on that. They're probably going into Christmas better than they've ever been, but just lost their way.
Lost Brenton Toy across to the AFL earlier this year.
Yeah, as well. So.
Josiah Farah, we saw him kick a goal bursting out of the centre like this last week. Couldn't control that one. Staunton mops up though, and Staunton joins the party. Gets his second goal to 6th of the final quarter of the Crocs. It's a 46-point lead.
Another guy I reckon's had he didn't play for half the year because of a recruit course with the Fire Brigade, but then he's been a bit slow, but his final's been pretty good. So just heading in the right direction. Yeah, but so I think Tiwi will probably do a review. They've just got to make sure they're really hard and honest with their review, and that's how you get better is honesty. So,
do you think the loss of Brenton Toy has affected their performance in the back end of this season?
He certainly gives them direction. There's no doubt. His footy brain's second to none. So, but took a promotion and now is working for the Northern Territory or working for the AFL.
Mm-hmm. Almost full time in this first semi-final, with the Crocs on their way to a preliminary final and the Tiwi Bombers farewelling the season. Mullins. Tungatala's made some space attacking side of the centre. His passing's been exquisite today. That one was on the bounce to Monagatti. He's in front of Holman. Two big strong bodies there. Wanameri lays a tackle and holding the ball decision. Austin Wanameri will win a free kick and has a chance to line up for his third goal. I just went through the Southern District's players, Rick. There hasn't been a quiet player. I mean, you could even maybe look at Michael Bowden, who hasn't had as many possessions as he gets sometimes, but he's a defender and just does his job every week anyway.
Still spoiled, serviceable, got it out of the back line when required. No, I wouldn't say exactly.
So every player has contributed to that.
I'd still give Bowden a pass.
Yep. Wanamiri directly in front for his third goal, has got it. Tiwis get their 11th, 11-5-71, but they're 40 points behind the Crocs at the 25.5-minute mark of the final term. Crocs 16-15-1-1-1.
Probably a few people in Darwin thinking Southern District's probably on a little bit of a slide. It can happen, but you can certainly turn a footy club around pretty quickly. But just with Watts and Lake, and I spoke about last week with their juniors, what districts are doing, it's all about not trying to win so many junior premierships, but just developing really good people and good depth through it. So Greg West has done a paper, and if they stick with it with this young group, and they've got more junior players out at Southern Districts than any other club, I think their future's looking pretty healthy, when a lot of people would think that they're about to slide.
In a sleeping high again. Xavier Grant pushed off the footy. Mullins, there's a trip, and it's going to be a free kick to John O'Mullins. Cruz has tried hard all day, but that's it. It's the end of the season for the Tiwi Bombers. They finished third after the home and away, but they're out in straight sets. The Crocs have won 5 in a row and march into a preliminary final with a 40-point win, 16-15-1-1-1 to the Bombers 11-5-71.
Yep, they're heading, so all over for the Tiwi Bombers Football Club, out in straight sets, unfortunately, but Southern District's footy club will next week play the loser, in a preliminary final against either Nightcliff or St Mary's Football Club. They're heading in the right direction, looking good. As we said, we couldn't pick a poor player today going through their list, so Shannon Ruskwood be very, very happy and in a good place.
That is full-time here at TIO Stadium, where it's the Tiwi Bombers 11-5-71, defeated by Southern District 16-15-111. You've been watching Aboriginal TV, Channel 4's coverage of the 2019-2020 TIO NTFL season. We'll see you next week for a big preliminary final where Southern Districts will take on the loser of tonight's semi-final between Nightcliff and St Mary's.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's a win there for the Southern Districts Football Club against the Tiwi Bombers. Final score